Hey everybody, this review is on the new DreamWorks movie, The Wild Robot. So the plot of this movie is this robot called Rosm Unit 3134. It gets washed up on the shore of near the lake of a forest, and it really feels lost and really wants to adapt to the environment because this whole this whole robot thing is supposed to be used for assistance and helping. So Rosm goes throughout the forest and tries to help all the little critters around. And later she's given the name Roz because, she needs a real name, not a technical robot name. And then she comes across this little duckling, Gosling, who she names Bright Bill. And because he lost his family, so she tries to become a mother and help raise the little Gosling, and she also comes across this fox named Fink, played by Pedro Pascal, who is the first animal that she befriends. And it's kind of like a weird thing where lots of the animals are saying, "Don't trust the fox because foxes and little babies like they're predators." So she kind of has a weird thing where she doesn't really know what to happen. She just really wants to help all the animals in the wild, and of course they don't show it, but of course the company behind the Rosm robots try to locate Roz, and then all the animals try to help and make sure she feels right at home, and she has to survive her survival skills and techniques. DreamWorks, thank you. Thank you for proving you can make amazing movies. This has got to be the best DreamWorks movie of forever, I think. That's I don't think they've made a movie this good since Kung Fu Panda 2. Yes, I went there. This is easily one of the best DreamWorks movies. And a big part of that is because it doesn't feel like one of their typical movies. And there's a lot to it that really gets you invested. Because this movie, when you think of DreamWorks, you kind of think of their stuff like Shrek or Madagascar or Kung Fu Panda or stuff like that, where they're more comedies. I mean, okay, Kung Fu Panda did bounce the seriousness, but let's be real, a lot of it there was still a lot of comedy here and there. There's some like cutesy, silly jokes in here, but most of it's dramatic. And this basically felt like DreamWorks' attempt at making a Pixar movie. And well, if this was a Pixar movie, I'd call it one of their best ones because man, this I mean, I went into this movie thinking it was going to be great, and boy, did it not disappoint. This movie was fantastic. And you know what a big part of that is? When I saw the trailer, I thought it looked really good because I liked the idea of a robot out in nature because it's not really, civilized, and it's not very, um, what's the word? Overdeveloped. So obviously, a piece of technology in the middle of a forest and nowhere isn't gonna do that good. So I thought the blending I of those two types of things really seems interesting, and the fact it's not a comedy makes it seem more interesting. I mean, it's not just a typical fish out of water story with lots of jokes. Lots of the time, it's very serious. You, like Roz is basically her whole purpose because that she's just made to be a machine that helps people, and that's it. And part of her arc is that she can be more than just that. Like a lot of the time she says, "I'm not programmed to whatever," and the animals are like, "Come on, just do this." And her whole arc throughout the movie is that she doesn't have to rely on rules. She doesn't have to do what people say she's made for. She can just be an open book. And yeah, it's not a new message, but that is a really good lesson. That's really good. I think that's something definitely kids would learn. Okay, it's not Inside Out 2 where it teaches lessons about the good and bad of anxiety, which is something you never hear. This is a message that is explained in a lot of media, but it does it in a way where it's still executed well because it's more subtle. Like they don't shove it in your face saying, I want to be different or whatever. Yeah, throughout the whole movie, Roz is trying to do what she's programmed to do, just be an assistant. But a lot of the other animals are like, we like you just the way you are. We want you to be free. We want you to be out in the wild and adapt to have your mind be free and creative. So yeah, I like the idea of that, saying you don't have to just work for anybody, that your whole personality can't just be your job. Sometimes being free and an open person is really what makes you good. I mean, she's not a person, she's a robot, and the animals are animals, but you get what I mean. And the voice acting, it's what you'd expect from DreamWorks. It has a really good cast. Lupita Nyong'o is really good as Roz. I think she has that thing kind of like Baymax from Big Hero 6 where she sounds like a robot, but she doesn't sound too, what's the word, cartoony. Like, she doesn't talk like this throughout the whole thing. Like, no, she sounds like a piece of technology, but still kind of human. If I don't really know how to describe it, but like, if you know Baymax from Big Hero 6, that's basically what Roz is like. I liked the fox voiced by Pedro Pascal. I like the idea of how like he was a fox and everyone else feared him because he's a predator, and the whole thing is that Roz really wants to help. Like, her whole program is that she just wants to help people. So she tries to see the other side of things. Like, she tries to see, you know what, maybe there is some good inside this fox, so maybe I could just try to help it. And it has a lot of good message about connecting with family and connecting with friends, because the whole thing is that Roz wants to help all the animals, and like all the animals are predators, and lots of them always fight with each other, and lots of them really think they're not meant to be in this kind of environment. But Roz's lesson is that all of your different things that make you different are what can bond you together, and that's exactly what they're doing with her, because she's a piece of technology that's basically a servant. So there's a lot of really good themes in this that really make you think, while also being like a cutesy, entertaining, dramatic film. So it's really good. I really don't know what else I can say about this. I mean, it's paced very well. It has a really good length, and it can have some. It can have a little bit of dark moments every now and then. Like this. I mean, this is PG in Canada, so I guess what do I know? But you know how in the United States every animated kids movie is PG when it has no reason to be. I feel this definitely earned a PG rating in the US, because this movie can have some dark moments. Okay, it's not Coraline or anything like that, but there's some intense dramatic moments in this. Like, this isn't like a cutie, like, if you live in America and you're thinking it's a film with a useless PG rating, like you're thinking this is something like, I don't know, Trolls or Inside Out or Frozen. No, this isn't. Like, this is basically a movie that isn't afraid to be dark when it needs to, but it gets sentimental when it needs to be sentimental. So man, this was so good. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if Inside Out 2 won the Oscars next year, because Inside Out 2 was really good, but man, I really hope if this gets nominated for an Oscar, I really hope this wins. Because if this doesn't get nominated for an Oscar, then what is wrong with you, Academy? But yeah, The Wild Robot was a fantastic movie with really amazing visuals, a really interesting scenario, really good characters, and a very talented voice cast. And what more can you want in an animated film? It was super good. Okay, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's one of my favorite animated movies ever. No, that would be too much of an overstatement. But it was really good. I really liked it. Dune Part 2 is still my favorite film of the year, but this is a close second. And man, I really can't believe how good. I mean, I was hoping this would be good from the trailer, but man, it did not disappoint. This was such a good movie. I didn't catch all the trailers because I was late. Yeah, yeah, when I my mom drove me to the movie, and obviously there I was late because there was a lot of traffic, so I was worried I was going to be late to the movie, but thankfully I wasn't. I was just late for the trailers. So yeah, the trailers that played before the movie. Okay, there was Hit Pig, which I actually came in during this one. I actually walked in during the end, funny enough, and I did see this trailer on YouTube because I saw a poster for this movie when um when I went to see what was it? Transformers? Yeah, I saw a poster for this and I looked up the trailer online and I and it looks like a nothing movie. It doesn't look awful. Like it doesn't look anywhere near terrible. It just looks bland. I mean, the animation seems fine. I mean, it's from the same studios that made Paws of Fury, so that probably explains why it looks pretty good, but it doesn't look that interesting. Sorry about that interruption. I was needed. Anyway, what were we talking? Oh yeah, Hit Pig. Yeah, I walked in on the end of this trailer. I did see the whole thing on YouTube like a few weeks ago, so I basically knew the trailer already. Yeah, it looks bland. Like the animation seems fine, and I mean, I'll give him credit. There was no fart jokes or butt jokes or poo jokes, so that's good. That's like literally one of the highest praise I can give a trailer is that it has no butt jokes or poo jokes. Then that kind of says how interesting it looks. I mean, it looks harmless enough, but it doesn't look interesting. I think this looks like a movie that would be end up being really obscure, and the only people that would actually end up going to see it are families who couldn't get into seeing Moana 2. Because let's be real, like this movie's probably only gonna have like 4 people in every showing because everyone else is gonna see Moana 2. So yeah, Hit Pig, not interested. It doesn't look insufferable. It just looks bland and uninteresting. I got Wicked. This time it's the new trailer. Yeah, I'm debating on this one. Maybe it could be pretty good, but because I do like The Wizard of Oz, but I'm not really familiar with the musical, so maybe it would be kind of cool to see the musical for once. But yeah, the what thing I don't know if the Green Witch, like the bad witch, like I find it weird. Is that actually makeup or is it CGI? Like her face looks CGI. Like it's really giving me Cats flashbacks. Ugh. But is that just really bad makeup or is just the lighting bad? Because this movie looks crazy expensive, so that would be pretty embarrassing if like the lighting or makeup looks bad. But yeah, but other than that, like it looks fine. Maybe it looks like a movie I'd probably see like as a last resort, like when I've seen all the blockbusters during Christmas and I have nothing else to see. I might see this, so I don't know, but I guess we'll see what happens. And I got Dog Man, which looks pretty funny actually. I actually think this might be good. I do know that this is based on a book. That's all I know. It's from the same author of Captain Underpants, which I did explain that when I in my review of Transformers One. Uh, it looks funny. Like I do think it looks kind of. I like the idea of Dogman being a dog's head on a man's body. I like the fact that the dog is just a dog. Like he's not a talking dog. He's not voiced by some big name actor you'd put on the poster. Like I kind of find it funny how he's just an average dog. Like he just makes dog noises and he's just a man. Like it'll probably be funny. Like I doubt it'll be no. Actually, no. There's no. I'll doubt about it. No, this won't be as good as Wild Robot. Like DreamWorks' next project, like this won't be on par with Wild Robot, but it looks like a funny DreamWorks movie, and it probably might be something kids would enjoy, and maybe adults would probably get a few laughs out of it too. So I'm pretty interested. I might see this. So, but yeah, all in all, the Wild Robot, it's excellent. Like I said, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's one of the best animated movies ever made, but it for sure is one of the best DreamWorks movies ever made. It's insanely good, and I'm really glad that DreamWorks put out a very good movie and one that isn't really like all their other movies. I mean, like I said, the How to Train Your Dragon movies were mostly serious, and they've probably made a few other movies that were debatably more serious, but this isn't like any of their other movies. It's basically their attempt at a Pixar movie, and what can I say but bravo? I really, really like this one. So if you want to see an animated movie and you've already seen Transformers, I mean, Transformers isn't doing well, sadly. That trailer ruined the whole image of that movie. But if you've already seen Transformers and want another animated movie to see, definitely check this one out. This is a really good movie, so I really hope it does well because this is definitely one of the best DreamWorks movies in years, and I really hope that it gets the love and success that it deserves. So yeah. So yeah, that's my praise on The Wild Robot. A very good animated movie and the best animated movie of the year so far. I can't believe I actually liked this more than Inside Out too. So yeah, it's a very amazing movie and I really, really can't recommend it enough. So take care.